he's walked down that aisle before as a challenger. He walked down there in Jamaica against Joe Frazier, all the way back in Vander Holyfield in 1991. If you count the WBO, he came in as a challenger in June of '93 against Tommy Morrison. This will be the 4th time he's coming in as a challenger for the heavyweight championship of the world, Rich.
Foreman will outweigh his opponent tonight, Michael Moore, by 28 pounds. However, he outweighed Evander Holyfield by 47 pounds when they met, and that is not close, actually, to being the largest gap in heavyweight history. If you go way back to the 30s, Primo Carnera once outweighed Tommy Loughran by 86 pounds in a fight. So this is not unprecedented.
Was light heavyweight champ at the time. He was even moving up in class. George weighed 257 when he fought Holyfield, though. He weighs 250 tonight. Looked very svelte at the weigh-in.
Yes, you could see it earlier in the week that his face actually looked thinner. He was not puffy in the face, so you knew then that the guy had worked himself into a reasonable degree of condition, and certainly very good for him. There with the referee Joe Cortez right in front of him, and now Foreman will await the arrival of the world heavyweight champion, Michael Moore. Moore should be coming out of his dressing room momentarily. George is going to lean up against the ropes and rest for a few minutes. Angelo Dundee, the legendary trainer in boxing, there with him. And here comes Big George from one corner of the ring over to the other. And here comes the world heavyweight champion, being led out by the man in front of him, Teddy Atlas. There he is, Michael Moore, 35-0, 30 knockouts, 26 years of age. He turns 27 next week. Born in Brooklyn, New York, lives now in Detroit, and won the heavyweight championship of the world April 22nd with a narrow 12-round decision over Evander Holyfield, winning by points of 1 and 4 on 2 judges' cards. The other had it a draw, but nonetheless, Moore not only showed great skills in that fight, but great competitiveness and great heart by climbing off the canvas against the determined champion, Evander Holyfield, and going on to win the decision.
Well, you know, you can't say enough about it, and you can't say enough about Teddy Atlas, who's given credit for turning around Michael Moore as a heavyweight. When things were looking lethargic and bouts were going a distance, Teddy Atlas is the guy that has been in his ear and is given as much credit and has got his own notoriety. And for those who don't remember, Teddy Atlas was instrumental in the amateur career of Mike Tyson.
Michael Moore has said this week that he feels he is in a no-win situation.
That's happened before in a lot of fights where you've got a situation where if he beats the old man, so he beat the old man. If he loses to the old man, how could you lose to a guy almost 46 years old? So he might be in a no-win, but let me tell you, when he goes to the bank on Monday, he's in a win situation.
Yeah, that's a win-win-win situation. Michael Moore warming up very briefly, glistening there, shaven-headed menace.
And he's entitled to this type of a defense. Let's not forget, when Holyfield won the championship, who his defenses were against.
Now up to Michael Buffer.
Hotel, Casino, and Theme Park of Las Vegas, Nevada, where tonight, Fight Night and main events, along with Top Rank Incorporated in association with your undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Budweiser, proud to be your bud, present World Championship Boxing. On behalf of the aforementioned, our best wishes for a speedy recovery to Mr. Dan Duva and Ms. Carol Hamp, who are unable to attend tonight. This bout is sanctioned by the International Boxing Federation and the World Boxing Association with the approval and sanctioning of the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Dr. James Nave. Commissioners at ringside, Nat Carasali, Luther Mack, Dr. Elias Ghanem, and Crispin Rivera. Executive Director Mark Ratner. Chief Physician is Dr. Flip Homansky. Also at ringside, Dr. James Wishkame and Dr. William Berliner. The timekeeper is James Cavan. Counting for the knockdown seconds, Mike Lascella. Representing the International Boxing Federation, President Robert W. Lee, and Supervisor ringside, Alvin Goodman. Representing the World Boxing Association as Supervisor is York Van Nixon. The scoring for this bout will be done by 3 judges. It will be done on the 10-point must system, and the 3 judges assigned are Dwayne Ford, Chuck Giampa, and Jerry Roth. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, working in his 71st world title bout, referee Joe Cortez. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of the Grand Garden Inn, the MGM Grand Hotel, Casino, and Theme Park, let's get ready to rumble! 12 rounds of boxing for the heavyweight championship of the world. Introducing first, in the blue corner, wearing red and weighing 250 pounds, this 1968 Olympic gold medalist has a professional record of 72 victories against 4 losses. 67 of those victories have come by way of knockouts, and his KO to win ratio is the greatest in heavyweight history.
Arnie, as they get ready to begin round 7, do you think there should be any concern in the Moorer corner that he was tagged with so many rights in that round?
Absolutely.
A history of sport.
I mean, we're sitting here with a situation, unofficially, I virtually had it a shutout at that point for Michael Moorer. Maybe marginally George Foreman had won 1 or 2 rounds. I've got to tell you, though, that
There's Big George. He's totally exhausted himself.
Oh!
Foreman was totally blown away himself. And now we'll hear from the heavyweight champion
of the world.
Here's Larry Merchant now getting ready with the new heavyweight champion of the world, George Foreman.
Congratulations. This is an impossible dream. Tell us your thoughts about what you just accomplished.
Well, for all of my old buddies in the nursing home and all the guys in jail, always remember that song, When You Wish Upon a Star. Doesn't matter who you are, anything your heart desire can come to you if you just don't give up on your dreams. I'm so happy, and I want to thank Seth Abraham, because I called him up on the phone and said, you know, this fight can happen if you want it to happen. Seth argued a little bit. He said, well, George, it can happen then. So that man who runs HBO is a special human being.
Thank you for the plugs, and I'm sure that Seth appreciates it.
Tell him to give me a bonus, please.
George, you were having a hard time, it seemed. He was beating you to the punch, hitting you a lot of good stiff punches. You were hitting him with punches, and yet he was right there. What happened in the last round?
Well, I had the power this time. Bob Cook here. We trained about trimming down, but at the same time, what was that, carbohydrates and stuff he gave me, told me I'd be stronger and I'd be able to eat Wendy's hamburgers all the way through training. So I was able to get my cheeseburger and at the same time have that energy for the last, because nobody can keep taking those kind of punches he took for 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds. He's got to just kill off sooner or later.
Were you ever hurt or seriously stung?
He had power, and every time he touched me on top of the head, it would just shake my body. The man is powerful.
Well, going into the last 3 rounds, were you ready to commit everything to it, because you were staying on a nice steady pace until
the referee told me in the ring that there would be no 3 knockdown rule here. So I knew that I was going to have to punish, and get a straight knockout. The 3 knockdowns would not count. And it was hard for me to make that decision in my dressing room, that I was going to have to punish this man. But they were not going to give me a 3 knockdown, so I had to take it easy, and eventually mount up the punishment. That's not what I like to do, but they gave me no alternative. They took away that 3 knockdown rule.
I don't quite get the logic of that, George, but you've always had your own, and it works.
Yeah, but I could have knocked him down 3 times earlier and won this thing, I think. But I had to continue beating and punching me with stiff right hands. That's not the kind of punishment you want to give a young boy, because he's got a year. Mohammed didn't punish me that much. He just knocked me down.
All right, we're going to go in a moment to the tape of that last round in the knockdown.
All right, our congratulations to the newly crowned, it's almost unbelievable to say, the heavyweight champion of the world, George Foreman. Arnie, let's take another look at what went on as the miracle of George Foreman has reached its pinnacle here in round number 10.
Well, get ready to watch. Michael Moorer is going to move to his right. He's going to be set up. George is going to hit him with a picture-perfect left hook followed by the right, and that's going to be all they wrote. He started to be able to land the left hook a little bit in the 9th round. The 10th, though, we were saying, Moorer kept walking into that left hook and allowed George to add that to the arsenal where he was short. And there goes Moorer down. And that was it. By 3, we knew he wasn't getting up, and he didn't get up for a long time after the count was over. You know, Rich, it's so rare that you're afforded the luxury of being able to see sporting history, boxing history. This is a truly incredible occurrence.
An amazing accomplishment. Moore was trying desperately to get up. He actually rolled over and tried to push himself up, but he was nowhere near doing it when he was knocked out. And so now we must wonder, Oliver McCall is out there, and George Foreman now with 2/3 of the heavyweight championship.
Well,
the
let's
future
talk
of the
about,
heavyweight
though,
division is certainly something that is going to be extremely interesting in the months to come. But tonight we've been very happy, and Arnie, it's been a big night, heavyweight history made here this evening.
Maybe the biggest, and we could wind up seeing George and Larry Holmes. You know, remember, Larry's fighting Oliver McCall. What a night that'll be.
Well, we hope you fans have enjoyed it. We certainly enjoyed being the heavyweight champion of the world once again. Good night, everyone, from Las Vegas, Nevada, USA.